the best time of the week. Time to listen to the Three Brothers. Forget your garlic and your leeks and listen to the Three Brothers. It's fat-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and free from gluten and priestcraft too. If you click this accidentally, stick around. You might learn a thing or two. Chuck on a shirt, tie and shorts, and crack yourself a brew without any further ado. We are coming at you. Three brothers, juxtapositions, and midnight ramblings for sure. Three brothers, don't forget you get what you pay for. Three brothers, so come on down, don't even worry about it anymore. Three brothers.
Three Brothers. Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome again to this week's podcast. We are two of your favorite three
Brothers.
brothers. We're coming at you again with the Three Brothers podcast. Thanks for being here. More than likely, you accidentally clicked the link to get here, and if you did, well, hello, welcome, and we hope that you stick around because you may just learn a thing or two, chum. It's good to have you. It's good to have you all here. Welcome back if you're joining us again. We love doing this. We love having you here. All right, let's do this. Should have had this ready to go. Ba-ba-bum. Okay, hang on. Hang on.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. Okay, all right.
The suspense is killing me.
Follow up.
How did we do from me to you? I wanna follow up. Yeah.
It's always good.
Literally only heard that one time. Already have it like burned into my cerebral for all time.
Man, Micah and I were just talking like AI, man. AI is just the best and the worst thing that's ever happened. And it's just
Yeah.
it's just crazy what you can generate in a matter of minutes that would take me like hours and hours and hours to do, you know? Crazy.
It's insane.
All right. So, firstly, follow up on what we did in the week first. Okay. Well, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
It doesn't matter. I can go first. I'm quick. This week, showed
Sure.
gratitude. I did. So I did this to a couple individuals. I did it. It's funny. I did it to Tracy, and I thanked her for doing something. And then she immediately was like, "Well, it wasn't just me. It was also like Levi and a few others." And my response was, "Well, the commitment was only to show gratitude to one person. I don't got enough gratitude for all of you." And so, so everyone laughed. It was sarcastic, obviously, folks. I wasn't serious, but so no, the commitment was only one. I only have to do this once. I'm not doing this more than once. I'm not grateful for any of the rest of you, but no, it's good. I don't know. I think it's a little bit like, saying I love you. I think it's a little bit like saying I'm sorry. I think it's a little bit like those things where it's like hard to do if you don't do it often. And so if you're not in the habit of doing it, like, it's so funny because with the Three Brothers, we're always like, "Love you, boys." Like, we're always like, "I love you." And it's like weird if you've never done it. And then like Ammon and
Yeah.
Topher will have friends that like they'll be like, "Hey, come talk with us. Like, come do stuff with us." And then we'll be like, "Hey, all right, love you, Mitch." Let's call out to Mitch there. "Love you, Mitch." And he'll be like, "What?" And he'll be like that. And then like within a week, he'll be like, "Love you, boys." So like he'll do it too.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Oh,
something
sorry,
that,
just to interject on that, I work with Mitch, right? Mitch is a work mate we work with. Every day when he leaves work now, he walks out the door and goes, "Love you, bye," to me.
that's so awesome.
In front of everyone. And I'm like, "Love you, bye." And everyone else is like, "What the heck? What's going on?" Yeah.
It's hard to do, like, to start, but like once you do, it's like, I don't know
Yeah.
why, because I really do. Like, I do love you guys, and it's like, It's
Yeah.
like it's once you kind of get doing it, it's like there's nothing wrong with doing that, and it's funny and it's good and it makes you feel good. So yeah, so
Mm.
I appreciate this. I appreciated this. Yay, gratitude, did it. The other thing that's been happening this week that's been crazy is that I because of that whole thing with the music video that we produced to one of the songs I did, Ashley was like, I want you to produce all of the old songs that you wrote for me throughout the years. I want you to actually
Mm.
do this in the program. And so like some of these I had obviously written when I was like 16 or 17. And so it was like we bought the Suno program and
Mm.
we've been going through that and it's man, it was so funny. It was so awesome. It was so funny. Ashley like went to bed with puffy eyes because she was crying in all of them. And so now she's like, now she's like, I want to share these with everyone. I love them so much. It's so nice. So that's
What a
the other.
blessing, eh? Like
Oh, it's so
honestly,
crazy. It's so crazy to
something
be
talking
able to
about.
like, just like Topher said, man. You can
Yeah.
you can record a little tune. Like you can be like, this is what the melody sounded like, and then
Yeah.
you can like
Or
you
even
can like
describe it. You can do
or
anything. Yeah.
describe it. Yeah, you can. And so it's like it's so crazy to be able to like hear what I did.
Yeah. Get it out of here and make it real. Yeah.
Yeah,
Without any musical talent going into it. Yeah.
yeah, it's insane.
Crazy. It
Yeah.
blows my mind. It's unreal. It's a life changer. For me, I have to agree. I've been using that tool for a little while, and I've got a lot of songs as well. Made a lot of songs, a lot of things because I've been in a couple of bands through my years, and I have a lot of leftover songs I never made. And I can play guitar, but I can't do anything else. I can't do drums. I can't do the mixing. I can't do anything else, bass, whatever. So it's insane to be able to just go, hey, this is what the song should sound like, and then put the lyrics in and it just comes out with, it's just wild and it's crazy and it's amazing. But for you guys, for you to be able to make the songs for you to have Ashley here, that's, oh man, what a blessing. Like, you know what I mean? Heck, it's amazing.
She's only ever heard some of these with me acoustically with my
Just,
a guitar.
oh, there you go. Yeah,
So that's
okay.
it.
No, that's pretty good too.
So
So,
it's like she's like, holy crap, like that's what it would sound like. And I was like, yeah. And so yeah, it's crazy. So she recognizes like the tunes, like she recognizes them.
mm,
And so yeah, no, it's been a crazy to hear it played
yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've kind of reinvigorated me to jump back in there. I want to keep making more because after a while, you've just done so much of it. I'm like, oh, I'll move on to something else, but you've got me wanting to go back in there. So it's good.
It's fun, man.
It's
It's
fun
it's
to be able to create as like, let's call us non-creatives, even though we are creative, but like to be able to create something without all the talent needed to create the thing, but have you know what I mean? Like you've got the
yeah.
inputs, but to not have the whole, it's just what an age we live in. You know, what a day. It's
And
crazy.
things that were holding you back. Like I was always a writer,
Yeah.
and so like I
Hmm.
didn't like things like the Christ-like attribute series that I did, like the children book series, but I was held back because I never felt like I was a good enough artist. And so I could never
Mm,
illustrate the things. And then it was like,
yes.
oh, now AI can just knock out these images and it's like they're adorable. And so it's crazy. It's crazy
Hmm.
how it's stopped roadblocks.
Mm.
So
Do you know what's crazy about the music one? Is that every song it makes is non-copy, like it's not a copy. You know, it's
somehow
like
a little
it's
different.
yeah, somehow it's a generation of a new song that you can actually copyright if you want. Like you get the commercial rights to it, which is crazy. Like it's wild because it's got to pull inspiration from somewhere and somehow still makes a fresh song. It's just crazy to me. Yeah. Anyway, it's just wild, man. Like I love and hate it though, you know. Like, and I think the creative people, like people who do have full on creative ability, they're probably not liking it so much because for people like us who can generate this stuff, you know, probably not as good as probably someone who's really, really good at something, but pretty dang good. They're probably not super happy about it. I'm loving it though. But I see the negatives. Also, because of AI and the data centers they're having to build, the prices of RAM and other computer parts are going through the roof, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We buy laptops at work and the prices just rose 45% yesterday, which is huge. It's massive. So, and that's because RAM costs so much because all the data centers that use AI need RAM. So
Yep.
crazy. Anyway,
Got to create those dancing dogs.
yeah, boy.
So anyway, you're going to
Um,
see that. You're going to see that
mm,
probably. I won't be able to stop Ashley. So if those start appearing on our archives in a playlist, I won't be able to stop Ashley. So as anybody who knows me, I have not been able to stop Ashley with anything
well, it's all good. It's all
ever.
good stuff. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. All right. Anything else from you, or
I'm good. That's it.
all right? Well, in regards to the commitment, firstly, it's an interesting one. So I think what me and my wife realize is I think we both think we give more appreciation than we probably actually do, if that makes sense. So I feel like I give her appreciation all the time. In my head, I do. And I'm sure that she says the same and she thinks she gives appreciation in reverse. So we both think that. And I think what we've learned this week is that we both can do way better at giving each other appreciation. So it's a great commitment because that kind of flushed that out of the woodwork for us. So I've been working on that, you know what I mean? Like trying to actually give gratitude and appreciation because she deserves it, honestly. And she's been doing the same in reverse. So that's been nice. And then, but I've only got so much appreciation to give.
Yeah, that's, that's right.
What do you want from me? I've only got so much here.
Uh,
Yeah, so no, that's really, really good. But and then in terms of just the week, it's been a pretty interesting week actually, and especially with the Easter season and what it's funny because it's not something that our church has ever really focused on. I feel like my whole life they've never really focused on it, but now um Holy Week, as I guess it's the
yep.
Catholics call it Holy Week or whatever, and like I mean we talk about it and stuff, but I feel like other religions do things like Stations of the Cross and all these different other things that our church has never done, but I feel like they're doing it now this year. Did you see? I think it's in Utah somewhere, and it may be more widespread. I definitely saw it, and the church, the official church, social media stuff posted about it. That some stakes were building like full on. Um, I guess you'd call it, it's like Stations of the Cross kind of, but full on stations, like decorative things in the cultural halls of chapels where you go through Jesus's life and stuff. And my ward, or I guess it's our stake. I think they had a stake relief society activity my wife went to just the other day where they did it. Probably not on the same scale that they're doing it in like Utah and what have you, but apparently it was really good. And she was explaining it to me. And like they have, for instance, a bunch of the different things you go through the last week of the Savior's life, and one of them was you go into the tomb, and everyone was crying, and it makes me emotional thinking about it. They had uh, Jesus's body lying on in a sepulcher, and it was probably made of the body was made of who knows what, right? Paper mache or whatever, but had a cloth laid over it, and so it looked like he was laying in there, dead in the like in the tomb. And I'm like, man, that's so visceral, but
Like
so
the
real.
sacrament
And
table.
there you go, there you go, isn't it? So I just thought, man, it's really, really cool. So I remember on a tiny scale, we had a primary activity one time where they just had an empty tomb. I think it was probably last Easter, actually, last year. The primary had an activity, and they just had an empty tomb with a cloth folded, and even that, and someone standing there as an angel saying, he's not here, he's risen, or whatever the angel said. I can't remember. And even that made me cry, like just an empty tomb. Just thinking about that. So I can't even imagine like what that would have been like. It would have been blowing my eyes out probably. But anywho,
Was it a
so
kid saying it too? Was it the kid being the angel
no,
for
it
the
was the
primary?
lady,
Oh,
but it was the lady.
oh,
That would
man,
have
that
been
would be,
funny actually.
dude. Wouldn't that be crazy? Little like
Yeah,
Cupid angel kids coming down. What are you doing here?
yeah, yeah,
That'd be crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll so anyway, so Holy Week. Now you will remember, everyone who's used to listening to the Three Brothers will recall that at times like Easter and Christmas and what have you, our family likes to make traditions and do things that make our family focus on the meaning of the season. And so Easter's a massive one. Like Easter's probably the biggest one because there is a whole week of it. And so we've been doing the Holy Week thing, and we've basically as a family done an activity every night or every day, every night, whenever, to focus on the thing for that day of the Holy Week. And it's been really, really good. So I'll just quickly tell you what we've done. So on Sunday, we did Palm Sunday. as a family together, and we watched a video of Jesus entering in on the donkey into Jerusalem, and we waved our own palm branches and yelled Hosanna to him as he walked through, and that was really, really nice. And then on Monday, Jesus cleansed the temple, and so we took the kids to the temple. I unfortunately wasn't able to go, but we took the kids to the temple and explained the temple and walked around the temple. That was really cool. And then on Tuesday, Jesus ministered and taught in the temple, and so we had the kids make cross cookies. So cross cookies, and then give them to the neighbors. So ministering,
Nice.
yeah, it was cool, and they loved that. Then on Wednesday, Judas betrayed Jesus, and so we had an object lesson, and we had a bunch of grapes. We used a bunch of grapes, and one of the grapes was actually a bad grape. It wasn't a good, like you wouldn't want to eat it, but we had it flipped to the side where it looked okay, and we said, which is the bad grape, and made them try and figure it out without touching or without. And the moral of the story is you can't know necessarily that someone is a bad grape necessarily, but to always make sure that you're a good grape. You're the good one. Don't be the bad one. You can't always tell the bad one, but don't be the bad one. A little object lesson. And remember, these kids are young, so this is simple stuff. Thursday, which is actually tonight, so just before we recorded this, and the missionaries came over as well for it, we actually we had, it was the last supper, and so we had some flatbread that my wife made, some flatbread and some red cordial. Do you guys call it cordial? What do you got? What do you got? Like, it's juice, I suppose, but like, so cordial's like Kool-Aid maybe, or it's not Kool-Aid though. We get it in bottles of really concentrated sweet juice, I guess. It's really sweet. You add a little bit to water and it makes a cup of, sweet juice or whatever. So we had red cordial and some flatbread. And then we washed each other's feet, as Jesus did. So it was really quite nice. And then tomorrow being Friday, we will have it's funny, I kind of chuckle about this. Most of the world on Good Friday eat fish, like as a reference for the sacrifice of Jesus, but we actually have lamb. So we'll have a lamb dinner to focus on the Lamb of God. Like we've gone the other way with it, but it's really, really cool. So that's tomorrow. Then Saturday, you'll remember this one. We're going to do our annual hike. So we hike just like Jesus did when he took his cross up to Calvary. And we also make the kids gather rocks, and then we get them. It's a weird one, kind of, but it's cool. We get the kids to gather rocks, and they put them before the cross, and then they end up getting swapped out for some chocolate, so that I don't know. There's a whole story behind it, a whole thing with it. And then on Sunday, it's a day of celebration because he lives, he is risen, he's resurrected. And so we have dead flowers. We're going to have some dead flowers that the kids see the night before. Then on the Sunday, they're going to be nice, big, fresh bouquet of flowers to represent the resurrection. Trying to get the kids to visualize stuff, and that Christ overcame death. And the cool thing is that this Sunday, we actually have a special, because again, remember, Australia is behind or ahead. We're ahead of you guys, so we don't have General Conference on the same weekend you guys do. We actually have an special Easter Sunday this Sunday, and so that'll be great. Looking forward to that this Sunday. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I'm looking forward to it. And then we have conference the following Sunday. So when you guys are back to normal church, we're having conference. But I'm going to be watching it obviously ASAP. Anyway, that's what we do as a family. Sorry that was so long-winded. It's really, really cool. And it just gets your kids and your family focused on the main reason for the season, which is this is the best weekend of the year, man. This is a long weekend. We get a long weekend. I don't know about you guys, but we get Friday and Monday
Good Friday.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, we get Friday and Monday off, which is just awesome.
Oh, and Monday.
Yeah, that's one cool thing.
Ashley was curious about that because in Canada, because obviously Canada, Australia share some ties. They always had Good Friday off. In America, you don't. And so she was like, I wonder if they have Good Friday off. No, they have Good Friday and Good Monday off.
Yeah.
They have both. Sweet.
I'm not even sure why necessarily, but I love it. It's the best weekend of the year for the best reason to celebrate. You know what I mean? Like it's the best.
Probably all the beaches.
Yeah. It's not a bad time. It's quite warm at the moment. So anyway, that's this. And just on a other note, it was my youngest daughter. She's turning 1 on the 8th of April. So we actually just had. Do you guys do cake smashes? Is that like a thing in America?
It
for your
might be.
kid's first birthday. Yeah, so it seems to be common over here. When your kid is turning like 1, you give them their own cake and let them just destroy it and eat it because they've probably not ever had much cake. And we had a photo shoot for her to eat some cake for her first birthday, and it was really, really cute. And she's just taken her first steps as well, which is really fun. And I think that's about my week. It's a pretty good week. And then, yeah, it would be nice to tie it off with a nice, good Easter Sunday special meeting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. But yeah, what a good week.
Yeah, cake smashes are still a popular tradition in America,
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
especially when
So
celebrating a child's first birthday. So,
yeah. Oh man, it's so cute. I should show you the photo. She picked the whole cake up and she was eating it like a burger. Yeah, just like smashing it into her face. It was really good. Very, very cute. All right. You ready to rant it up?
oh, this, yes. Yes, I'm ready for this one.
All right.
We've got to rent. Yeah, we've got to rent. Oh, it's the rent of the week. Yeah.
And that's it, folks. Before I got the image, though, I got to preface this one because this is almost like I grew up on shows like Power Rangers and even Captain Planet, which is a little bit more, dare I say, gay
Oh, I love
version.
Captain Planet.
Where
A
it
lot
was
of it.
always like, I am love, I am this, and
Oh,
together we form, and they all come together. They all come together and they form this thing. Well, there's this crazy thing that like has happened with Ammon, Topher, and I, and Diner Bus, the Joseph's Boys. It's really crazy that like people that, and I'm gonna bring up Ammon. Like even with people like Ammon had a friend that like he had his whole life,
yeah.
went on a mission with, lived with him for a while, and then all of a
Mm,
sudden just decided, you know what, I don't want to be friends with Ammon anymore.
yep.
And they will all these people somehow, like, they don't, once again, they're so busy they don't have time, they're swamped for time, but they'll somehow, once they decide not to be friends with Ammon, Topher, and I anymore, Zion or Bus or the Joseph Boys, all of a sudden they find all the time in the world to come together. They find each other, they seek each other out. It's like, like magnetism. Okay, they come together, and together they form the couldn't keep the Pacers. Together they form this group of couldn't keep the Pacers. It's I mean, it is a gung ho group. I mean, they wallow together, they weep together, and man, they couldn't keep the Pacers together. And so I just it's the pattern of it is just crazy to me. The way it always plays out like that, it's like you leave the church, but you can't leave the church alone, kind of thing. It's just like, well,
Mm,
I don't need to be friends with these people anymore. It's like, well, we love you, we want to still be friends with you. And then they just like flies, like moths to the flame. They find the other ones. And it's like they'll go looking for him. Whatever happened to that guy? And they'll go looking for him, and they all put on the jersey. They put on the jersey. They're BFFs forever. The couldn't keep the Pacers. And so we love you. We want you to know we still love you, and that you were the one that didn't want to be our friends. But we also want you to feel like you actually still are a part of a team. And so we've created you a jersey. We got it. So you're welcome.
In a league of their own.
You're in a league of your own, folks. Couldn't keep the paces. So, and speaking of AI being absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous,
When I saw AI create this, I was like, man, I just I couldn't replicate that. You know what I mean? Like it's just so good, and it generates it in 3 seconds.
So.
Crazy. Yeah.
So, yep. Anyway, I wish that you would take that same energy that you take to put on that jersey and to play for that team. I wish that you would have that same energy for real friendship that will last throughout the eternity. So I wish that you could have that same kind of energy.
Mm. Yeah, it's a little sad, man. I mean, there's definitely no loss of love from this side. Do you know what I mean? Like people, I don't know. Yeah, it's it can hurt a little bit, but mainly because you worry about them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, and so there's nothing but love from this side, and so just wish them all the best. And what can
Yeah.
you do? What can you do?
In some cases, like wish Ammon was here for this one. In some cases, like these are people that have like known Ammon for like his whole life. Like these are friends that
Yeah,
they've
Ammon's had some
known.
of that. That's the wildest. That's the wildest one. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah. You'll have these
legit.
people, these friends for years, for like in his case, like decades,
Mm.
and then just like all of a sudden, it's like, no, I'm gonna now be like with this team. I'm gonna put on this jersey, and I'm gonna go hang out with these people like they're my best friends. And it's like the saying of not saying the teaching from Elder Bednar that we repeat often, that you don't have to wait to die to find out where you're going. You're gonna go with those that you're like, those that you love spending time with, those that you are moving in the same direction with. You're gonna go with those that you're like, and there is no love loss on our end. Like we still love you, and we are worried about you because do you really want to be in eternity with a bunch of people wearing this jersey? Because that's where you're going. You're going to go with people like that, and you know that. That's why you go searching them out. That's why you go searching them out to be friends with them. And it's
The big
it's a
team.
shame. It's a
It's
big
good to be
team.
a big team.
It's a big
They
team.
got no one. They got no one to play against.
But they got no one to play against. Yep, pretty much. That's it.
Yeah, good. I mean,
So
uh, yeah. No, Ammons is the most crazy example of that, though. When you've known someone your whole life, they've lived in your house, and then it's just instantly gone. The end. GG. Like that's the craziest one, man. Ah, anywho, ready for some better times?
always.
Comment, comment, comment of the week. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, that one has
That
a
one's
law in the
yes.
middle of the yes. Yeah,
Got,
yeah,
got an
yeah. Law.
extended
Yeah.
yay on it.
That one. Man, that's a good one.
Oh man. All right. So we got a comment here this week from Alan L. So he said, and this is a quote from Bruce R. McConkie from 1959, but no man can have a testimony of this work until he begins to get a knowledge of the gospel. A testimony is based on knowledge. First, a man must learn about God, there's a bit of an AI thing in there, and his laws, and then by obedience to these laws, he will gain a testimony. Jesus said, "My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me." So, good quote. I don't know whether this was in reference to something like if there was extra context to this, but for me personally, it made me straight away think of what Joseph Smith said, which was what do you say? It's the first principle of the gospel to know the character of God. I think that's pretty close to what he said, and I think it's in the Joseph Smith. The teachings of the prophet Joseph Smith, where he talks about you can't really have faith in a God if you don't know him. I'm butchering it, but you can't have faith in God if you don't know who he is, if you don't know anything about him. Because if you don't know him, your faith is if you don't know God, actually, your faith is misguided. If we actually thought, let's say, what the Catholics believe, that God is an ethereal everything and nothing and three in one and nowhere and everywhere and what have you, like that's not God's true nature, right? How can you have faith in a being that you can't even fathom and understand and even describe? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
very, very grateful to Joseph Smith for the latter day revelation, the restoration that gives us the knowledge of who God is. And then because we have this knowledge, and that's the absolute base, that's why Joseph Smith says it's the first principle. It's not the first principle and ordinance
First
of the
key.
gospel. Yeah, there you go. That's it. So because we know what the principles and ordinances of the gospel are, and I guess it is faith. Faith's number one. But you can't have the faith if you don't have that first principle of knowing who God is. And so because God and Jesus Christ appeared to Joseph Smith, we have that really good solid foundation of knowing who they are. And what I really love is that we know that God is our Father, and it's a lot of things recently. Like I've listened to a lot of podcasts and interviews and bits and pieces on YouTube lately, and it's very, very interesting to me how few religions or just people in general think of God as a father. Like
Mhm.
for instance, like Islam consider that blasphemy. That they call God Allah, but they're saying Allah is not father. That can't be, that's not who he is. And I'm like, man, like this is how far off you guys are. Like you don't even understand who God is, and then you don't even want to call him father either. Like it's just so many things removed. But then even Christians, like a lot of Christians, like we literally call him Heavenly Father, but a lot, because they have this, what do they call it, the triune understanding of God or whatever, it's and that they don't really reference him as Father, but we have this really good understanding that God is literally our eternal Father, and so just really, really grateful for that knowledge, because I feel like without it, it would just be really unfortunate. And you're not going to find this out to the end, because people believe what they believe, right? People are really solid on what they think they know. And so you don't find out you're wrong in a lot of instances until it's too late at the end. And so it'd be a real shame to go your whole life thinking you know God and then finally realizing he's totally different to what you lived your whole life believing. So I'm very, very grateful for the restoration and the knowledge of God that came with that. And yeah.
Yeah, even just in that first vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, you have the Trinitarians. So yeah, you have that Trinitarian belief, which kind of destroys a little bit that father. But then you also have with Presbyterians and stuff, you also have this like and in our even amongst us, you have this bleeding in of feminism and this anti-patriarchy. So like and it's still the same thing. It's a dampening of the power of the father, the title of it, the relationship of it. So yeah, it's all there. So, but that this quote was given in relation to, from time to time you'll have people like share quotes, and it's always recent. It's so crazy. It's always some general authority, maybe even apostle. It's always somebody like within the last 20 years, and they'll say things like, "Oh, knowledge isn't that important," or like knowledge isn't a saving ordinance. Like knowledge isn't that big a deal. And it's like, it's crazy because like you go back even 20 or 30 years, you have all these quotes, like all the way back to Joseph Smith. And, and so we have this quote from Bruce McConkie. The one that Topher was referencing was on the page 305, 306 of the Teaching of the Prophet Joseph Smith. And Joseph Smith made it very clear, like, we have no claim in our eternal compact in relation to eternal things, unless our actions and contracts and all things tend to the same order. But after all this, you've got to make your calling and election sure. And if this injunction would lie on those of the previous generations, how much more does it apply to those of the present generation? And he says, what's the first key? The first key is knowledge. Second key is make your calling and election sure. And the third key is, it's one thing to be on the mount and hear God, hear the voice, but it is another thing entirely to hear the voice declare to you that you have a part in that kingdom. And so like there's this knowledge. And so like it's really, yeah, it's really weird. This oh, well, knowledge isn't that important. And it's like, it's kind of like the don't judge. It's like that same thing where it's like people don't realize how much of a paradox that is. Like when you go up to somebody and say don't judge, it's like people apparently like the dumbing down of society and the lowering of IQ. You don't realize that in the act of saying don't judge, you are in fact judging. So it's like this paradox that you put yourself in. You're judging that person. You've judged that they've judged. You don't like it, and now you're telling them not to judge. Well, they did the same thing. They saw a homosexual sin. They said repent, because it's the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You're seeing something that you think is unbiblical, is undoctrinal, and you're trying to call someone to repentance over it. So it's exactly the same thing. And it's like that here with the knowledge. It's like, well, knowledge isn't important. The saving ordinances. It's like, name one saving ordinance in which you don't have to have knowledge for. But we have to have interviews before we're baptized. Like all the ordinances are based on a predicate. Like, why am I getting in the water? Why does it matter? Why are you the one doing it? What does the baptism mean? What does it symbolize? Why am I doing it? Like, would you be getting in the water without knowledge? Would you be showing up to church on Sunday and taking the sacrament without knowledge? And so to say, oh, well, knowledge isn't a saving ordinance. It's like, without knowledge, the saving ordinances are moot. The knowledge is what gives the saving ordinances any sort of validity or any sort of why you're even going to go do it. And so it's the first key. It's the first key. If you don't have knowledge, and Topher also was quoting in there some lectures on faith. And so it's like, that's the first thing, man. The first thing is we have to know God. We have to know his characters, his attributes. We got to know it all. Because without that, you will never be able to obtain faith sufficient unto life and salvation. So knowledge is important.
Amen to that. Absolute foundation. That's why we talk about ignorance all the time, right? That's why ignorance is not bliss.
No, it's not.
It's bliss for a minute, and then one day you'll be like, dang it. Can't.
Dang it.
Dang it.
The judgment. Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Especially when you've had the opportunity, and what we're under condemnation for not using the Book of Mormon enough. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, I mean that in itself, right? Like, just even gaining knowledge of the Book of Mormon, even that part alone. But there's so much more. It's
so important.
It's
such a good point. Such a good point. The Book of Mormon, knowledge is important. It's like, man, that Book of Mormon is like changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it without the Book of Mormon, I wouldn't know what I know, and I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in.
Yeah,
changed my life. I love the Book of Mormon. All right. Great comment, though. I love this quote. Great comment.
Very nice.
And this was an AI. He didn't type air hoot.
Air
hoot.
AI, man, with its weird hallucinations that it does. Yeah.
It just goes into like German or Scandinavian
and you're like, hey, AI,
randomly.
can you just fix this one word and leave everything else? And it's like, okay, I've done it, and it doesn't fix it, and it adds a monkey in the corner doing it. It's like, what is this? What is this?
So you've asked me to put a monkey in the corner. No, I haven't.
No. Yeah. Man. Yeah.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
What are we at? Questions.
Baby's got a question. Have you got a question? Well, here's a place to get it answered. It's the question of the week.
You should hear how long that original went for. It was so long.
Topher's talking to all of you. We have heard it, and it was hilarious. It was grand, but we were like, "Oh man, we can't."
It went for like a whole other
15
40
seconds.
Just going, yeah. So good.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad Topher's around because I feel like I'm the only one who cracks up at my own stuff. But when the three brothers get together, man, we crack up at our own stuff. That's pretty much half the experience. It's hilarious. I could listen to that. I could listen to that over and over again and still find it funny. All right. Here it is. Okay, so the question of the week. Yes, this one. Will there be a pre- and post-conference fireside this weekend? The answer is yes. Forget it. We're doing it. We're doing the thing live.
We're doing it.
We're doing it live. Just let's do it. And so cue the... Oh, wow, it's been so long. What is that guy's name? We're doing it live. Bill O'Reilly.
His name? Oh, Bill Riley. Yeah.
We're doing the Bill O'Reilly. We're doing it live. Just run it across the screen. We're going to do it. And this one, maybe this will be the last one ever. Maybe this will be the last one ever because, man, I got stuff that I've written down like all over the place. Like that I've just been like, this has just been on my mind that I feel like this needs to be done. and so forth. I mean, all sorts of stuff. I don't know if I'll go into it. Maybe I'll blow people's minds. They'll get mad because like there are some topics that are like people need to start talking about, and they need. And I've been saying, behind closed doors, I've been saying people we need to be talking about this for the last 2 years. But it's starting to get to a point in time where it's like I feel like now we're going to start talking about it because more than ever I feel like members of the church live in a bubble and they're like 5 years behind the world. And then when the prophets and apostles address something, they're always like, "Oh, it's so prophetic," and it's like, "No, you were just in a bubble. This has been going on for like 5 years." It's like, oh, President Corbin Hinckley was so ahead of his time with like telling people not to gamble. It's like, no, it just hadn't infiltrated LDS culture yet. But like this was everywhere else, right? Like we're just 5 years behind on this stuff, and so they could see the writing on the wall. We could see the writing on the wall on some of this stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to talk about it. Like some of this stuff. Speaking of which, with AI and pornography and stuff, like people have not been asking these questions, and we haven't been talking about them, and we're going to start reaching this point in time where because we haven't asked these questions and done the actual doctrinal work on some of this stuff, we're going to come up like this could get really ugly really fast. Expect not just with people making mistakes and sinning, but also just being completely undoctrinal and being completely unprincipled with how we apply things. Just being like, well, this is completely okay, but this over here, this is gonna make you lose your temple recommend, and it's like they're literally the same things. Like they're literally the same things, and so we haven't really talked about them. So anyway, who knows? Who knows? If I'll go over it. Oh, maybe it'll be my last one. It'll crash and burn because everyone will be like, Micah, you're insane. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to
Good.
it.
That's the main thing. And when do you reckon you'll do it?
It'll be on Friday, so we'll do it Friday evening. And so, yeah, man, it was so crazy. Like, because I would always do these things Friday evening, and like, it was crazy because I think Topher was driving in a car at that time, and Ammon was doing something else, and like they would call in from like work. So like, I think that
Yeah.
like it was crazy. So like, yeah, it was something weird. So like, it was like some kind of the first fireside with Ammon. I think he was like just was like at work or something, and just
Yeah, I
like
think he
called in
was
from
at
the
work,
bathroom.
and I used to get, I can't remember. I used to have Monday off, or yeah, I don't know. I can't remember how I called in either, but yeah, I think
You
Ammon did
said
it from work
you
somehow.
you said you were in like a truck or something. You had more driving time or something, and you were able
Oh
to.
yeah, back then I had a job where I drove around a lot. That's right. Yeah, yeah, far out, man. That's years ago now. Holy moly!
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Topher, we've
Wow.
known each other for a while now.
Yeah,
It's insane. Yeah.
it is insane.
I've known
Actually,
you longer than I have kids old.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh man, not to rehash the past, but holy moly, you used to just be a guy that I listened to on YouTube. That's what's crazy about the whole thing. Michael was just a guy that I found on YouTube
A
through
psycho.
some wonderful, wonderful happenstance. Like, and again, I don't think it's happenstance, but you know what I mean? Like the way we ended up finding each other, I don't think there's any luck in that at all. But yeah, just very, very crazy and how grateful,
It's
you know?
very similar to Peter, James, and John, not to toot our own horn here, but it was crazy because Topher found me, I believe, and then
Mm,
shared me with Ammon, and then
mm.
Ammon was the one who called me.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
Ammon, and you know why? Ammon's bold. Ammon's bolder than me. He's really. I got to hand it to Ammon. He's a lot bolder when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not like really kind of guy that's bold enough to just call in, but I can be emboldened too, if that makes sense. But Ammon is like I'll call you, and also I'm even though I am a millennial, and I think millennials do have the distaste for phone calls and things like that. But
yep.
not like the generation after us. What do they call them? The Z's? Are they Gen Z?
Z's.
But you can't get them to pick up a phone to save their lives. You know what I mean? But I'm not one to call in and do things like that. But because Ammon did, I was like, oh man, I want to talk to Micah too. And so props to Ammon for being brave like that and doing that. And then anyway, here we are. But years later, holy moly. But yeah,
Years
grateful.
later, the sons of Thunder, the brothers of Thunder are here, Ammon and
Who
Topher.
would have thought? Who would have thought?
Me.
Crazy. Yeah, wild man. Absolutely love it and no complaints.
That's it.
Hmm.
So hopefully that answers your question. It's going to take place this Friday.
Good to know. But yeah, so Friday night, that's Saturday morning for me. That I think I'll probably be on that hike I mentioned, unfortunately, but we'll see how we go. All right.
Tune in to Channel Free.
News time.
Channel Free Brothers for this week's headlines. Channel Free. With your anchors, Topher, Micah, and Evan. Get your week's headlines. Channel Free.
I love that.
That one had a long intro that was hilarious.
Yeah. Yes, it did, and I cut that off because it was just so.
It was so
It
long,
changed.
but so
It like
good.
went through tempo changes and all these bits and pieces. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we just need this bit. Ah, man. All right, so let's talk some news. What is going on in the world? And there's so much going on. I think, Micah, you were saying
Oh,
sometimes we're like, oh man, I hope there's enough news to talk about. It's like, oh, geez, Louise, we're rolling in news.
yeah, that's been
Can't
this
get,
year. When we
yeah,
started, we were like, what if we can't come up with a few things to talk about? And so far this year has been just like
nonstop.
insane, like a
Yeah,
nonstop of just like what are the five that I'm going to summarize this down to?
yeah, yeah. All right,
Unfortunately, I
so
don't think I got any funny ones this week because they were all so like these are serious things. Like I'm usually having to like kick out one of the more serious ones to get more funny one, but there was
well,
just so many
number two is pretty funny, but yeah.
to do to certain people.
Yeah, well, okay. Too soon.
Too soon, yes.
I found it funny. All right. This week's headlines. Let's jump into it. So number one. So this one is actually sad, and I guess it depends if you've seen the videos or not. So no, Noelia is euthanized at the age of 25 against family wishes. And was this in Canada? Was this a
This
Canadian or
is,
was
I
it?
think,
Oh, it's in
Span.
Spain. Yeah. At least her organs had pre-planned destinations. I assume that's a bit, is that a bit sarcastic as well?
Yes, that's this whole thing's horrific.
Yeah, it's
This is
terrible.
horrific. So yeah, that's tongue in cheek. Like, well, at least her, or like, give me a break. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. The story is, I mean, even the euthanasia bit's sad. The story of how that even came about is, wait, it's even sadder. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, the whole thing's really, really sad. But what annoys me is that,
Give people who maybe now don't know a little bit, just a little bit of the backstory.
all right, so I'll give you the highlight, like a real high level because it's so sad, right? So this girl,
Yes.
she was in, I believe, like foster care or in state care of some sort, right? Living in a home or some sort of facility, and she was assaulted, in the way that you could imagine in that care. So under government watch, under government care, she was assaulted, and I believe she tried to commit suicide because she was having such a hard time dealing with that. But she survived that. But she became, I think, paraplegic, or she became paralyzed from the waist down, or something like that. I think it was waist down paralyzed. Paralyzed. So, I mean, she's had a rough time, right? Really, really rough. And she was working towards recovering, but she was in constant pain, constant, like, PTSD as well. So, like, it's not even just the bodily functions that are rough to deal with. It's the PTSD from all the experiences that she's had to deal with. And it's just like no one should go through that in general, and especially not in government care. And anyway, she had a real rough go of it. She's only 25, and this had happened when she was, in her early teens, I believe. So it's been a long time. So she was having a real terrible time. Now, actually, you might know more than me. I'm not even sure how the euthanasia bit came about. Like, did she? Because it seemed to me when I saw her interview, she was confused a bit about it as well. Like,
Yeah.
she was kind of like, oh, like, but she was almost like happy to go through with it because like life's so painful. So I don't know if you know any more about
Doctors,
that than
yeah,
me.
doctors suggest it as a course of action now. So like
Oh,
it's
that's crazy. We talked about this a few weeks back. Yeah, that's
yep.
wild.
That no,
Yeah.
so like this is insane. We're supposed to be getting rid of abortion, folks. But that's what we should be doing right now. This is horrendous what we're doing to babies. Like horrendous. And instead of that, we're like maybe we can just euthanize the victims of the world, the old people, the sick people, the people that are traumatized. Maybe we can just get rid of all them, right? And and so yeah, that's part of the healthcare of these systems now is they will ask you, hey, like this is one of the options. And obviously they don't say, kill you. It'll be something like, fair. It's something, with acronyms, KISS.
Yeah.
It's KISS.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon, man, as soon as the person's like, oh yeah, yes, these organs, man, are immediately up for sale, man. Like these organs are immediately like, yeah, these are all signed up, it was almost impossible to stop it because of the organ donors that now are lined up. So like it
Yeah.
becomes like, well, even if they change their mind, like we're still gonna have to go through because she's gonna be killing other people because they are now waiting for her organs and
Yeah.
like and
Oh,
they're
that
now
is.
sitting in
Oh my
sitting
God,
in
man.
they're sitting in operating rooms waiting for these organs, and so now she can't back out now because someone like even if like it's like an abortion, man. It's like you can't back out mid-abortion. The baby's dead. Like you're ripping it limb from limb. It's horrible. But it's like you can't back out now. Like so, if you're on the table and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, shh. It's dude. This is happening in Canada. This is happening in Spain. This is happening basically anywhere where socialized medicine is kicking in. This is either full blown happening or they are putting this into the operation. And I'm telling you, just like with COVID, just like with these things, it will become mandated. So like
Yeah.
with socialized medicine, you will no longer have a choice. Just like this, you won't have a choice. Grandma is this old. She did these kinds of things in her life. They decide she's not worthy of this. Goodbye. And and that's
Imagine
what's
being this
happening.
girl's parents. They were trying to stop it. Imagine being powerless to stop your daughter from getting euthanized. That is just the saddest. That's so sad. And Australia, man, we have free healthcare over here, so it makes me wonder if we're on the, Commonwealth countries, right? So it makes me wonder if we're on the next on the list to see stuff like this come here. I don't know. I think
And
Canada's
no one
tilting.
knows. No one knows until
Yeah,
they're like, "Whoa, no, you can't do this to my daughter." And then it's like, "Dude, we passed this like 3 years ago. You can't do
yeah,
anything." And they're like, "When? When did this happen?" So like, this is
yeah.
always the way it works.
And the
It
abortion laws are loosening and loosening and loosening like all the
Yep,
time here too.
yep,
Like,
yep,
yeah, bit by bit, just cranking it slowly, just enough so that we won't like revolt. But
yep.
like, and then you forget about that change, and then they'll just crank it again to another notch. So anyway, it's all disgusting. But
So
um,
when people say things like, "Oh, we're waiting for the world to get more wicked," it's like it's never reached this point in time before, folks. Like where we've
yeah,
had child sacrifice, we've had elderly sacrifice, we've had kid sacrifice, all for like organ donations and stuff like this. And you know how secret combinations work and stuff. You know that there are people on these lists that are connected to people that are getting fresh organs that shouldn't be
oh
getting
yeah.
fresh organs. Like you know that this is awful.
I know, like China have been executing their prisoners for a long time for the organs.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And executing just like, oh, don't get me started. A lot of things, executing people and taking their organs because they can. But this made me think of like a certain Mr. Gates has talked about how to get rid of the enfeebled part of the
Yep.
population, the
Yep.
poor and enfeebled many times. And who knows, man? Who knows? It's all connected, all linked, but it's just terrible. Anyway, that
And
this
you're
is a
gonna
health this is a healthcare option now. Like, what are you
yeah.
talking about?
And you're gonna start to see people just like with abortion, you're gonna start to see it preached like you're doing some benevolent
Yeah,
thing. Like I'm getting a
yes.
abortion to save the planet, to not have to have this kid live this horrible life of me in poverty or whatever. And you're gonna see this like with the whole 7 Pounds movie with Will Smith. You're gonna see this glorified like you could save people's lives. Your life is over. But you know what? Your eyes could go to somebody who could see your liver, and they're gonna turn this into some glorified act to be like praised and like saviorized, and it's disgusting. Like this is
Mm.
disgusting.
Can they do eye transplants?
But yeah,
Holy moly. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Blind people with eyes and yeah, they can see.
Wow. Okay. That's that's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a sad one. It's a sad
Yep.
one.
And so that's where we are, folks. That's the state of the world.
Yeah. All right. Another crazy one. Number two, Erica Kirk has gone full lunatic mode against Drusky. Widowhood now a protected class. No joking allowed. So if you haven't seen the video, it's actually, to me, it's hilarious. I mean, it probably depends on your opinion of Erica Kirk, I suppose. To me, hilarious. So Drewski's been doing a bunch of these impersonations lately. What was the other one he did? It was did he do Trump? Who did he do? It was a few weeks back. I can't remember. He did another one, but he's been wearing like full makeup and everything. So he fully dressed up as Erica Kirk, like full white makeup, blonde wig, and then just acted how, on stage with the fireworks and wearing like like the blazer and the pantsuit, like fireworks and dancing around, and then did interviews where he answered questions like really kind of vaguely and softly spoken and about, lots about Christian men, and then stared at the camera as she does, and it's funny, man. It's funny, So, I mean, he's obviously taking the flavor of the month sort of thing, jumping on it and making fun of it. But yeah, I haven't seen what she said. I did hear that she had blown up about it, so clearly she did. But I don't know.
She
what
sent
she
him
said.
papers. She's trying to sue him.
Oh,
She
boy.
sent him cease and desist, and she actually is trying to sue him.
You know, you know what you need to do. You know who took it really, really well. And all
Her
opinions
husband
well,
in
yeah.
South Park.
Yeah, actually, great point. But JD Vance. So all opinions aside of JD Vance, but he, they made that meme of him, like the character, like a big fat dude with a curly hair for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't even know where that started. But he leaned into that. So like rather than getting all upset that this character had been made of him or whatever, he didn't he dress I think he dressed up for
It's
Halloween as the
Halloween.
character.
Yeah.
So that's how you deal with criticism. That's how you deal with someone making fun of you. You lean into it. If you're getting bullied by someone and they point out things about you, lean into it. They got no ammunition then, but she's gone the opposite way. So she's just not very good at taking it. There is a weird you do think about it though, it's not wrong for a black dude to dress up as a white person, but you can't, as a white person, do the opposite. That's very interesting, though.
Yeah. It's only history. It's history. People say, well, it's because of the history of blackface. It's like, well, we're currently living the quote unquote history of whiteface. So like it's just in 100 years, they're going to be looking back at you and going, why did they not see this was wrong? And and that's what the people wearing blackface back then were thinking. They were just thinking, what's the big deal? It's funny. It's
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. I think, dude, Andrew Schultz has the absolute most hilarious skit ever on blackface. Have you heard that one?
I think I have, but I can't
Oh my
remember right
goodness,
now.
it's so funny. He's like, the Navy SEALs, like all their advertisements are basically just like, look how cool blackface is. This is blackface in a helicopter, blackface, on a boat, blackface, jumping out of a plane, and he's like, look, bro, like, and he's talking to some African American in the audience. He's like, we both agree, blackface is wrong, right? But here's the deal: we're going in, you and I, to do this operation, and it's at 3 a.m. Now that's important. That's it. That is a key bit of information. Now, bro, if I go in to this operation and I'm a walking strobe light, we're dead. We're both dead. I'm gonna need you to blackface all of this up for our sake, because we're both dead. It's a hilarious skit, because it's like this idea of like, oh, it's never appropriate, and then it's like, well, maybe there are cases, where that is appropriate, because a dude of this complexion, trying to do some night raid is probably going to draw some attention. Probably going to draw
Yep.
some attention there. But this
Yep.
this widowhood is now a protected class. This is one of those cases where it's like, if you're a principled person and you're somewhat, because you're principled, you're apolitical. Like, you're not like, I stand with this political party no matter what. Like, you don't get friends. And this is how I've always been. And because truth is apolitical. And so, like, by the way, this is the way it is with doctrine and policy, where you're like, no, if the prophet of God tells you to do something, you have to do it, right? You have to do it. And then half the church is like, no, I don't have to do the thing the prophet says. And then I will turn around and say, just because a prophet said something doesn't make it true or doctrine. And the other half of the church will be like, And it's like, because you guys are political. You just want to hate the prophet, and you
Yeah.
just want to love him and just give him power that he doesn't have. You got to be apolitical. And we, as far as being on the right, have examples of this. It's called school shootings. Do you not remember, not even a year ago, where the school shooting victims were coming out and saying stuff, and the people on the right were like, why are we listening to these people? They're kids, they're stupid, like they don't have life experience, like they should not be making gun control policy stuff. And the people on the left were saying, you can't criticize them. You can't joke about them. You can't turn them into a joke because school shooter victim is a protected class. And they're like, you can't do that. Well, just because they were a victim, you can't do that. You're doing it right now with a widow. You're saying, well, because she's a widow, no one can ever joke about her. No one can ever criticize what she's saying. And I'm telling you, this is what's so crazy. Those kids in that school have more right to talk about school shootings than Erica does to fill Kirk's shoes.
Yeah, for real.
So we're showing our hypocrisy here, folks. We're showing our hypocrisy here. Like, if you're going to get upset about this, then you should have also gotten upset when people did skits about the school shooter all of a sudden, making a career out of it and so forth. Because we did. I can show you the skits. I can show you the jokes. I can show you the memes. So be principled. Be principled.
Yeah, good call. All right, moving on. Number 3.
This one bothers me so much.
Yeah, this bothers me too. And this is actually the first time I've ever heard this. I didn't actually see this myself in the news because Micah makes these news headlines and I just wait to read them live. So, Israel declines sending own citizens to fight their own war. Hey, we started it. You go fight it, man, Glavin.
And this is AI here. This isn't real. So we'll provide the funding. Good luck. That's a joke. They never even promised that.
Yeah, because they're getting funded from America. They're not going to provide the funding.
That's the inside joke there. Is that
Yeah.
We'll pay them and then they'll give us some of the money back. Yeah.
Yeah. So, look, I haven't seen this headline, but I'm not. All I'll say is I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me at all that this would be their stance. Yeah, we'll go start throwing rocks. And hey, can you help me throw rocks? Okay, now just you throw the rocks. And like,
I'll stand behind you, Gloiken.
Yeah. Moral support. Yeah. Go even. So, oh man, I mean, I'm not even surprised. That's insane, honestly.
Yeah, so they were talking about boots on the ground, and America was talking about options with that, and Israel was like, yeah, no, we will under no circumstance put boots on the ground in Iran.
And because they just want to carpet bomb it, you know what I mean? They actually don't want to.
They want to nuke it.
Yes, if you know the actual agenda of what they really want to achieve, that's why they don't want to put boots in the ground, because it's not worth the boots. It's just with their what they actually want to achieve with that whole area. Yeah, I can actually understand why, and it doesn't make it right. None of it's right. But they'd rather just get rid of the location, cleanse it in other ways. Unfortunately,
and this is the principal thing. You want to make the argument. You want to make the argument on Facebook and places, because I've heard these people do it, and you know who you are, and I love you. That like, well, just because this is in the interest of Israel doesn't mean that going to war with Iran also isn't in the interest of America. Okay, fine. You want to make that argument? I think that's stupid. But at the same time, even in that, you and I both agree that the interest of Israel is greater than that of America. So like, even though there might be some benefits to America, the benefits to Israel way outweigh the benefits to America. Now, how do you defend this? Like, it should be 2 boots on the ground from Israel from every American. You cannot defend America sending boots on the ground, people to die over there, while Israel does nothing. You cannot morally, principle, without just coming out and saying, I'm a goy slop cat, without literally being all the horrible things that Jews think you are. You're cattle. You're okay being cattle.
Has America said they're going to actually put boots in the ground? Is that actually what they've said, or
Trump has said no options are off the table. That's what he's
yeah,
constantly said. And once again, remember what we talked about last week with the raging the enlistment age to 42
yeah,
and being asked about the draft and saying, well, we're not taking that off the table. I said, just look at all the steps and do the Occam's razor. What's the simplest solution? And this week we're finding out that Israel's coming out and saying, just so everyone knows, we're not committing any boots to the ground. Why? Because all of this points to boots on the ground. That's what this points to. And Trump knows that if he puts boots on the ground, let alone without Israel, it is political. He will get impeached. And this time, nobody's going to stand up for him because they will get crushed in the midterms. He will get impeached and he's gone. That's what's going to happen. If he puts boots on the ground,
I wonder why Israel gets surrounded, or Jerusalem gets surrounded by a massive army that likes of no one's ever seen, in the last days. Like I can't imagine why that's going to be the case, why that's going to happen.
yeah.
Um,
And it's going to be
this,
an army of Christians and Muslims doing it. Literally.
So, I mean, they got to do something to really annoy everyone to get them to do that. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what that is and how that plays out. But this, I mean, straight away, you can see the way they play. They play dirty. It's almost like the little, it's this little dweeby kid throws a rock or starts a fight with a bigger kid, and then when the bigger kid fights back, goes and run to their bigger brother,
Yeah.
and then defend me. It's like, how about don't start fights when it's not your money and it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's, and then expect everyone else to sort it out for you. Yeah, it's just gross. That's the good word.
And the fact that we're even discussing this, like, and the fact that Israel has the balls to say, yeah, nah. In Australians' language, yeah, nah.
I
It's
just,
just so
nah,
infuriating.
yeah. Do you know? You mentioned it before with the goyim stuff, the goy slop, the goyim stuff. It is amazing to me. I don't know how they've been so successful in getting America to do their bidding when it's so clear and out there about what they say about all of us. Like I can't believe they can have the opinion and say what they say about non-Jews, and yet somehow we still have their back. That blows my mind. That's like, I don't know, man. That's just like someone saying the worst things about you that you could ever be said about, and then you're like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. You know, like I don't know. I just don't understand that at all. I
Well,
don't know
well,
how
at
that.
the same time, looking at a small subset of Islam and being completely okay saying that applies to all Islam. And it's
Mm,
like there are billions of Muslims. There are only millions of Jews. And it is right there in their Talmud. It is right there in their belief system. It's not like, oh, this is only just a few that believe this. No, it's
yeah,
all of them. That's all
yeah.
of them. And there is huge billions. There's a huge swath of Muslims that believe that they don't have to blow themselves up. That they do believe, like we believe. By the way, Latter-day Saints believe. We believe that the whole world's going to burn. Like, but we believe that we're not the ones that are going to be doing it, right?
Mm,
That's the difference. Is that think of it in terms of Latter-day Saints? They'd be like, we believe in the redemption of Zion, we believe in these things, but we don't believe we're the ones that are going to be out there with a sword stabbing people,
mm,
right? But there might be Latter-day Saints that do, but they're a fringe element. They're a small
mm,
fringe element or whatever. There's a lot of, all of Islam believes that, eventually we're all going to burn. That's what we believe too. But, some of them believe, no, I have to be the one doing the burning, right?
yeah, yeah,
And that's the ideological difference in Islam. In Judaism, you go read it, there is no ideological dispute. We're
yeah.
goyim.
I saw an interview recently, and it was a reporter who went over to Israel and was asking questions of the general population. And she said she couldn't believe it. There's not like an extremist sect of Judaism. It's all of them all of them believe it. So all of them were saying, if you give me a button right now to wipe Gaza off the face of the earth, I'd push it right now. They all think that. They all spit on Christians as they walk by. They all kick them. They all, like it's not a subset. That's what's crazy, because you're right. Like Islam, you do get the extreme ones. You get the others who are perfectly tolerable, and but with Judaism, they're all it's all. So it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. And the reason why America has been bought into it is because we're Christians, we're God-fearing people, and we know that we are the grafted in branch. We know that Judaism was the original branch. It's rejected its Messiah, but we know it's the original branch. And so we know the prophecies, we know all that. And so, we're having that love relationship used against us. And I go over it in the Macrolasty Timeline, chapter 1, by the way. The relationship between the nursing mother and the child. We're the nursing mother, right? And it's the child. And so there's that kind of relationship. Without the nursing mother, the child dies. That's the relationship. But the problem is that it's our child, it's our baby. We don't want it to die, and because of that, the child can then take advantage of the mother, right? Manipulate the mother, as we know happens.
Mm.
So I'm gonna walk out in front of that car, Mom. I'm gonna walk out in front of that car unless you jump in front of it and get hit for me.
Unconditional love from the mother. Unconditional love from the mother for the child. And
Correct.
and honestly, I feel that. Like, I mean, I can't stand a lot of things, but at the end, we still look forward to the day when Jesus comes down upon the mount and splits it in two, and rescues them from that insane
Correct.
war, and
Yes.
and finally says, "Hey, look," and they're like, "Who are you?" And like, I'm the one that, I'm your Messiah. I'm the one that died for you. And they all finally realize, finally, that he actually is the savior of the world. And they all convert finally to Christianity. And I want that. I love that. I can't wait for that to happen. That's awesome. There's not the flip side for them. It's not
Nope.
in reverse. That, you know what happens when they're Messiah? If, like, it's not going to happen, but
We all die.
exactly. So it's not a like for like, unfortunately. So we have love. They have something else.
We have them as part of the prophecies that are good and make us smile, you know, and so yeah, and they only have us as, yeah, parts of the prophecy
Yeah.
where not stuff we want to be a part of. So,
Yeah. No.
and I know that upsets people, especially those that have grown up on the Goyim slot, but it's like, and want to know why we're talking about it. It's like every single week stuff like this happens. Like this is topical, and this is important because like I'm 40. The age is now 41. They haven't thrown off the draft. Like, if this takes place right now in a year or two, I could get drafted in theory.
Mm.
So this matters to me, right? I get it to you boomers. This isn't as big of a deal, but
Yeah.
this is a very big deal to anybody under the age of 42.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Whoa, okay. Now, this one was a interesting one. So this is news that came out this week. New changes to LDS second hour schedule. Will it be chaos or awesome? Sources confirm at least one spreadsheet already created. What's that? Spreadsheet already
spreadsheet, yeah.
created? Yeah, so this news came out this week, absolutely out of nowhere from my point of view. I don't know if anyone else expected it, but um, I want to say one thing firstly, just to put it out there. We do love and respect and follow the keys and love the we're behind the keys and the changes and the things that the leaders of the church do. We have to assume and know that these things do come from revelation and are for a reason. And it's not up to us to uh, judge those things that come from the Lord. So I mean, I'm all for whatever the Lord wants us to do, and it doesn't matter. It could be anything. It could be the most, like, in my opinion, could be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And if it's from the Lord and from the prophet, I will do it. So just to put that out there, we are all behind the keys, first and foremost. Secondly, I don't like this. So, but just to put it out there, but I haven't done it yet, right? So, but we were talking about it, and I was like, I just don't see how this can ever work. It's interesting. I don't know why they've done it. I don't know. I just can't fathom why they've gone and done this. I think it was working pretty good the way it was working. And there's a lot of reasons. I mean, we can start listing them off. So firstly, just so everyone understands the changes, if you somehow have been under a rock and haven't heard them, the second hour will now consist of 5 minutes to get into your first class, which will be Sunday school. Sunday school will go for 25 minutes. Then another 5 minutes to get into either Elders Quorum or Relief Society, if, whichever one you're in. I think the youth do their own Sunday school and then their own young women's, young men's. I think that's how it works for the youth. So basically, it's 25 minutes and 25 minutes. Some issues I see straight away with this is that people sit in the hallway for ages, right? So I don't know about your ward. In my ward, it can be a real challenge to herd the cattle, the goyim, into class in the first place. So there's going to be a serious problem. Like we're going to have to be really, really on this. And also, I don't know about your ward, but my ward, we still struggle sometimes to finish on time.
All the time.
All the time, right? So, and I'm guilty that I was final speaker the other week, and I went over time, and I could just feel the bishop going, "Hey, come on, finish." It happens, right? Like it happens. It happens a lot. Like we're supposed to finish on time, and remember back in the day when we used to finish 10 past. Like it was like 10 past was common.
Yep.
That was common. Now it's not. It's not meant to. It's meant to be right dead on, or even a little bit before, so the classes get the whole hour. That still doesn't happen every week, and so there's already problems with timing. The other problem I see is that Sunday school's first, and don't get me wrong, I actually love Sunday school. Like I love because it's the come follow me. We're talking about the come follow me. I love inputting into that. I love hearing other people's things that they've learned. So I actually love a good Sunday school class, and we have a really good one. So I actually love that, and that's also a downside to this. I'm going to miss 25 minutes of a class of any class, by the way, is I mean, almost worthless. By the time you've had a prayer, sat down, started talking, we're going to have to really adjust the way we teach classes, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that is a good thing. I don't know, but again, this is from the Lord, so it's all maybe this is exactly what He wants. But look, 25 minutes.
Well, if you don't know it's from the Lord's okay
Well,
with it.
yeah,
If the
okay,
Lord was not okay with it, He would probably step in. But like, there's a lot of cases where we do the best that we can with what we have, and in fact, President Oaks has some of the best talks on that about how we pray for inspiration, but when we don't get any, we're still expected to act on the best knowledge and the best information we have. And
yeah,
so,
yeah, good point. So, but yeah, anyway, so one of the problems I see is that Sunday school will get the full 25 minutes because they're first. So they will get that solid 25 minutes, but their class will go over. It won't finish on the
correct.
25. It's just almost never going to happen, right? Unless they're really maybe this is where this is why the Sunday school presidencies they've just updated as well. They need them to be really like, this class is finished. Whoosh, go to your next class. I don't know.
Get out of here.
Unfortunately, it'll be the Elders Quorum Relief Society that cops that overflow problem, right? So the 25 minutes already, in my opinion, isn't enough. Man, you give me 25 minutes to teach a lesson. I can't teach a full lesson in an hour. Like I'm already running out of time on the things I'm trying to talk about. Give me 25 minutes. We'll have an opening prayer. I'll, just
And
get started. It'll be time up.
I will bet you money that the women won't be moving. They will put
Yeah, it'll
the
be
Sunday school in the Relief Society's room, and
100.
they'll just be like, now get out. And
Yeah,
the men will leave, and part of the Sunday school class will just kind of filter forward, and they'll just keep moving forward. It'll be the men that wander off into the halls,
absolutely.
and get lost.
You know it. You know it. Yeah, so anyway, in my opinion, I think the Elders Quorum Relief Society, well, Relief Society might be okay if that's the case. That's a good point. But the Elders Quorum, I see probably suffering from this.
Massive.
Yeah. So and then begs the question, like, what's the point at that point, But if we all have that opinion, I guess it'll make it way worse. So look,
Yeah.
I'll give it a crack. I'll give it a crack. I'm in Elders Quorum. I'm gonna have to. I'll definitely be giving it a crack. We'll see how it goes. I do wonder, like we did also consider, is this something they do as like a first step towards, removing the second hour completely? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Please,
But please,
please do.
please, yeah, make it home-centered church. I mean, could be a step towards that. But on a positive note, I've heard some feedback from, I'm not even sure who said this now, but apparently some wards have been doing this. I'm not sure if they're doing it recently or they have done it or they did it during COVID or something like that. And apparently the feedback was that it worked really well. So I have no experience with that. So for me, it's new. I have to wait and see. But look, if it works really well,
That's
then
actually part. That's actually part of the part of the things that make me worry. You just mentioned it. That almost always we'll have these like rumors that creep up before general conference, and
yeah,
they're
completely
always
anecdotal.
wrong,
I don't know.
completely wrong. And this was one that was right. This one came out, and they said that we're going to be moving towards this like
Oh,
a month before it actually came out, and it was actually true. So this one worries me because this one leaked out, and so like who's doing that? Okay.
yeah.
That's not appropriate. And the second thing that makes me worried about this one is that I think and going back to the first point, I think this was a bottom up. I don't think this was a top down. Bishops, I believe, have much more control over their wards than people give them credit for. I think that people and mission presidents and they are giving general things, but they are allowed to make variations as they see fit. And I believe that you're like, just like, by the way, home teaching, that was the same thing. That was a program that a bishop or branch president came up with that worked so well that then the church adopted it as its program. You might find out that there was some bishops out there who just said, we're just going to do this. We're just going to do this. And then it worked so well that they said, hey, we've been doing this. It works really well. And then the church was like, okay, we'll do it. And that brings me to my final big problem and worry about this is that I can't stand sheeple. I can't stand it. When this program came out years ago and the only 2 hours and people went, well, okay, so obviously they're just going to get rid of Sunday school because we're going to have priesthood every week. And they went, oh, no, we're going to switch it off. There were people that were like, I don't think that's a good idea. And here are the reasons why. Here are the reasons why this could be a genuine problem. And people were shouted down. Oh, you're saying it's not the will of the Lord? You're saying that the Lord doesn't want you to do. You're fighting against it. No, I'm just saying that if you do this, there are going to be people that are going to say, I don't need to go to Sunday school. It's trash. I'll just go to my priesthood every other week and I'm good to go. There will be people that do this. Like that will be what happens. I'm just saying that is a natural consequence, and you're going to see because of that these effects, and people get really upset about that. And now we are like 4 years into this, and they're already changing it, and they're like, maybe we should do priesthood every week, and it's like, so are you going to go back in time and retroactively apologize to the people you are throwing under the bus? No. What you're going to do is not learn a flipping thing and throw the people under the bus that are right now saying these are going to be the problems with this. You haven't learned a thing. Listen to the people that are saying, hey, this is a great idea. This will work for this, but have you thought about this? Have you thought about doing this? The whole church is right now about how making sure that women's voices are heard because they have great ideas and we need to hear the voices. Brothers, sisters, they don't hold priesthood. They don't hold priesthood keys, but yet their opinions and thoughts are made valid. So why is it that normal members, elders quorum presidents, Relief Society presidents are saying, I like this, but here are some of the problems that will probably come up from this. Why are they being shouted down? Like, I just don't get it. It's just like, aren't we supposed to hear them out and be like, hey, look, we have a big problem getting men to sit down. Like, it sounds stupid, but it is a big problem.
Oh, yeah.
And you're telling me
I'm literally herding cattle on Sundays to get people in. I'm literally.
Yes.
Literally.
It's a big problem. And now you're saying I have to do this and do a lesson and within 25 minutes? Like, you're asking an impossibility with men. It's maybe with some women, but I'm telling you, it's like there's going to be some big problems with getting men I'll tell you what. And here's what's going to happen. If you're going to have to, as an elders quorum president, herd harder and herd faster, and men are going to pick up on that. And if they're talking to their friend out in the hall and they think it's an important conversation, they're going to start saying, hey, let's go off into this room. we don't want to get hurted. We don't want, let's go. And they're going to immediately run away, and they're going to be gone for the entire 25 minutes because they're going to be gone for 5. They're going to say, oh, there's no point in going in now. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get people to hide. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Whereas before, it's like the Elders Quorum, if it was an hour, you might have them come in 5-10 minutes late because there's still a half an hour left. But you're going to have, I'm telling you, Elders Quorum presidents, it's going to be like daycare. They're going to be like, where did Johnny go? That's what I'm telling you. It's Micah, do you have
Yep.
such low opinion of men? No, I just have realistic opinions of men and women based off of what I've seen.
Oh, it's reality, man. Yeah, like I see it every week. So yeah, but it doesn't come till September for some reason. So we got a little while.
So hopefully the world ends.
The world ends by then. We don't have to worry about it. I'd be curious
were
to know what people's thoughts are on this, though.
There were people who called this, by the way, myself included, in Discord,
Yeah,
who were
right.
like, you know what happened when they were like, okay, we're gonna get rid of the priesthood session and we're gonna make it a general thing. You know what I said within the first one? I said, you know, people are they're gonna crucify me for this, but that was trash compared to the priesthood session. That was not good. And the general consensus will be that was not as good as a priesthood session. And you give it a couple years, they're just going to quietly then get rid of it. And people were like, "Oh, you just like the, you know, hellfire and damnation, and no, this is the future." Within 2 or 3 years, now there's no longer a Saturday evening session, and none of you apologized to me, and I was right. I was right. And what we have here is, Sunday school presidencies. I went, they're gonna eventually be phasing out Sunday school. That's what my first thought was. As soon as they were like, women can be Sunday school presidents, I was like, yeah, within a year or two, if the world hasn't ended, Sunday school presidencies are gone, and they're gonna be wiping. And that's what this is gonna happen. They're gonna realize that they've realized that going 1 hour and 1 week and then 1 week is not working. Like, it doesn't work like they want it to. And now they're going to realize that going 25 minutes to 25 minutes also doesn't work. They're going to get rid of Sunday school. They're going to say, okay, well, we're just going to have to then say, people, you're going to have to do this yourself. And we're going to turn Elders Quorum and Relief Society into a more Sunday school oriented thing. So
I was just say you could do the same thing you do in Sunday school in Elders Quorum, and you could have
that's
yeah.
what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're just
Well,
going
we'll
to
see.
combine it. They're just going to combine it together. And
Clip it.
maybe clip it. Yeah, clip it. I hope maybe what they'll do is they'll just give women the priesthood, and then
that's
just
easier.
and then boom, everyone's just in one class, and
Yeah.
and I'm running out the back door. So yeah,
The elders and the sisters quorums. Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
I guess we'll
I'm
see.
curious on people's thoughts on that, to be honest. Hit us up in the comments. I want to know what your thoughts are, because, yeah, me, Ammon, and Micah, straight away, we're all like, yeah, I don't know about this.
Galoipin. Oh no. I don't.
All right. And so, last news headline here. Number 5, Canada makes quoting the Bible a crime. Straight to jail for Leviticus, no trial, and death penalty. It's Leviticus, it should be the death penalty. And again, I'm just going to say straight up that it does not surprise me. Canada is not surprising at all. It is sad, it is worrying, it is concerning and confusing. But when Canada does something these days, I am not surprised at all. It is so liberal, it is insane. And I don't know, I haven't seen this headline, so the first time I've heard of it. Frustrates me hearing about this. I've seen many clips online of Christian preachers on corners in Canada. It's actually happening in Britain a lot now too. Britain's getting really bad as well. So anywhere in the UK, having police come up to them because people of other certain religion, Islam, have complained that Christian preachers are on the corner preaching Christianity, which is so offensive to them that it can't be done. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised at all that somehow it's made it so far up the chain that it's now a crime to quote the Bible. Is this actually like fully legit? There's no like tongue in cheek about this? Is this full on? Like,
and part of it is that that if you advertise for bacon, or certain foods, if you advertise for them, that will be considered hate speech. So like, basically, if you're like, you want to
How
keep,
did we get here?
so basically the idea is that like somebody is like, I don't want Muslims in my establishment, so I'm gonna just be like, we sell pork, bacon is the best on their windows. It's like,
Right.
now you're gonna go to jail for that because that's offensive to them that you're doing that. So as
Yep.
part of that,
And in the flip side of this, the reverse of this, I can almost guarantee you that an Islamic preacher screaming and chanting and praying on the street won't have any problems.
they won't care.
Now explain that to me. How is that possible? And I can tell you actually why. So you know why? Because Christians don't complain every 5 seconds about being oppressed and being whatever, right? Even though we've like in so many countries, Christianity is like I looked at it the other day for some random reason. In Thailand, 98% or 95% Buddhist, 4% Islam, 0.5% Christian. Right, Thailand. Like we are, like Christianity is still a minority in many, many countries and many places. It's becoming a minority in these very liberal places like Canada and Britain. And this is why we're getting outvoted. Local councils are having Muslim leaders and things now. We're getting outvoted, man, outgunned. And now this is what happens.
outbred now.
Outbred. Oh,
They're
boy,
coming
don't
in.
get me started.
They're using our
Yep.
systems to have all the food and clothing and housing they need to have 12 babies.
Yep. And it's all government paid for in many instances. And anyway, don't be surprised that this happens now. And you'll have zero say in it and zero way to outvote it, zero way to control it. And you will go to jail, straight to jail.
But
It's crazy. Scary.
boomers, your 401k, your
Yeah,
houses,
don't worry. You'll be fine.
your houses will
We'll cop
continue
it.
to see. Yeah. Their houses
We'll
will
take it
see
on the
the
chin for you.
prices.
You guys live your last days all rich and happy, and we'll just cop it in the next generation for you. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, boys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll have to clean up this mess that you created somehow.
Yeah.
So-
And make sure you don't leave us any inheritances either. Make sure you spend it all and lose it all.
Cruise trips and temple pick. So long as there's a temple pick, God wills it.
Yep.
He's behind it, folks. So long as there's a temple trip. I mean, do whatever you want.
Yep.
Take a trip to Disneyland in California. Just go to the temple. Go to the temple on Thursday.
Yeah.
Take picture. God wills it. You're fine. God wills it. I mean,
Yeah. So
then you go to church on Sunday and you just show all when you get back from your trip and you just show them all the temple pics and you don't show them all the crazy other stuff you did on the trip.
man, so bad news is good news. What's the saying? Good news is bad news. I don't know. Bad news makes good news. I guess unfortunately, this is what we're rolling in, man. A whole
This is
bunch of
this-
bad news.
Terrible week and everything that you would expect in the time period we're in. Like this
Yeah.
can't continue, folks. Like people are like, "Oh, the second coming is going to be 40 years away." It's like there
Yeah,
won't
like,
be
look at what we
anything
deal with.
left.
Yeah. Society won't exist in 40 years. You know what I mean? Like at this rate, like
No. Nothing that would resemble anything remotely Christian.
Nothing. Christianity's already been kicked out of everything. So yeah, good luck. And
One Christian, this is another part of the news that didn't make it this week. A Christian just says, "I don't believe in homosexual marriage and I refuse to participate in these pride events." Immediately, that's all he said. Immediately cut from an NBA basketball team. Immediately cut. And the people on the team, one guy who dated a 16-year-old, one guy who got caught like with an underage girl, said, "I hope this guy gets the help that he needs." So yeah.
yes, Christians need help, mental help.
So-
Yep.
Christians now need, but being a 25-year-old, 30-year-old and dating some like 14-year-old, like that's just basketball. But being like, no, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman, and I'm not going to support this bowing to mental health needs some help. That's the world you're in
it's-
now. And that guy wasn't white. So like even race didn't protect this guy.
Wow.
So yeah, this was an African American Christian that was like, I'm not going to participate in this, and his race in America didn't even save him from that. And he got cut, And
It makes me
the
wonder.
teammate was white. So this is the one case where a white guy could tell a black teammate, you have
Wow.
mental health problems, you need to get help, but is over Christianity.
This is what is scary, and I wonder if this is certainly coming for all of us at some stage, where society will be in such a way and so bad that, think about Mark of the Beast and the things mentioned in Revelation, that at some point we're all forced to accept or deny this sort of stuff at the cost of our jobs, our
Yep.
ability to make a living, our societal status,
Yep.
whatever it might be, all of that stuff, and then having to live in the wilderness because we can't participate in society because it's so gay. Do you know what I mean? Like you just
Put
can't
a
do it.
chick in it, make her
And
gay.
and you're forced to leave, like, because there's no other option. It's submit or die, submit or leave, submit or, and that seems to me like what probably is what's on the horizon.
Yep.
And one other thing I was going to say before is what's crazy about all this is that how do people not see, realize, and understand that Christianity and Christian values built these civilizations, made them
Yep.
great, built them, made them great, gave them the good values, gave them the freedom that everyone loves and has and deserves, and we're systematically being replaced and replacing it with other things that are oppressive, and somehow championing that.
And when we made mistakes, all the evils that you can point to and say, well, you did this, and you did this,
we're
Christianity
also the first
solved
to
it.
correct it. Yes.
Christianity was what solved it. It wasn't just, it just
Yes.
fell out of the ether. No, it was us going, this is unbiblical. This is
Yeah.
unchristlike. This
Yes.
isn't what Christ would want, and we corrected ourselves. So Christianity is what fixed all these problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What a twisted world we live in, man. But you know what? Again, to be expected, right? To be expected. So, look, roll with it. It is what it is. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. All right.
Spiritual, spiritual. Come on, let's get spiritual. Let's talk spiritual. Let me get your spiritual, spiritual. Let me get your spiritual thought. Oh, spiritual, spiritual. Pump it down. Give me
Bring it
your
down.
spiritual thought. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. That's so good.
That is cool.
At least we end these on a high note. The news can be
That's-
all bad, and these on a high note, right?
That's the point. There
Alright.
you go.
So here's a nice one. So, spiritual thought for the weak people. We thank thee, O God, for a prophet to guide us in these latter days. Simple. What a wonderful. I mean, that comes from a hymn. What hymns that come from?
We think they'll cover a profit.
Is that the name of the song? Is that the name of the hymn?
I think so.
That might be it. Good. There you go. Self-naming, self-titled. So, and with this time of year, topical, pertinent, important conference coming up this weekend. Right now it's Thursday, so a couple of days away. Love it. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Solemn Assembly. Also, remember, because President Nelson passed away, was so close to the other conference that it never was a solemn assembly last time. I think President Oakes wasn't even President Oakes at the last conference. So this is the solemn assembly. Cool. Again, they're few and far between. So looking forward to it. What a wonderful time to be able to listen to a prophet of God, to prophets and apostles and seers and revelators, and to receive guidance in these crazy times, all the crazy things we just talked about. What do you want to do? You want to listen to the guy who gets the inside line from the Savior himself. Jeez Louise, why? That's where I want to go for my information. So looking forward to conference. Can't wait. Here's the commitment for us all. It's an easy and obvious one, and it should be obvious. Here's the commitment. Watch or listen to conference this weekend and focus on the thou shalt do's. So keep an eye out for those. Anything that the prophet says, thou shalt do, anything that's obvious that he urges us or asks us to do, look out for those. And
Yep.
remember that it's guidance for us in these latter days. And that's the commitment, people. Should be an easy one. And hopefully no one has any issue with keeping that commitment.
At least people that listen to us shouldn't have a problem with that. Follow the prophet. We know he's got the keys. We know that this is the Lord's church, and he's coming back for members in it. So, and the most important thing, those thou shalt do. So when he says do something, those are the most important things.
Yeah.
Study this.
Turn off
Don't
the
do that
priestcraft for the weekend.
Turn it off, please.
At least for the weekend, and
Please
focus
turn it
on
off.
the people who are not priestcrafters. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
And that's the high
That's
note,
it.
folks.
That's the high note.
That
We go
was
up
a
and down and all
spiritual.
around and end up on the high note.
Spiritual.
High note. High
Yeah,
note.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we roll here. That's awesome. Well, and next week we got
Ammon should be back.
Ammon back, and so
There we
these will
go.
be a lot shorter
Back to
again.
full power.
It will be back to
Fully
power.
operational battle station. Yeah.
We've been running now with full heart. We need the brain back. We got full passion, full heart. We need the brains back to keep us on track and keep us moving on a good time.
And the Time Master.
And the timeout. Yeah. The old ball and chain. We love them. We love you guys. That wraps it up, folks. This week, thanks for joining us. 2 of your favorite 3 brothers. We love you. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.